Well, folks, during this uncertain time, we're not sure when we're going to be back fishing. Now, I was thinking about it last night. I haven't actually cast a rod in anger for nearly 8 weeks, and probably a lot of you are exactly the same. Problem is, when restrictions are lifted, a lot of people have been talking about get your tackle ready for the new season, get your flies, and if you're like me, you're getting cabin fever and you've tied thousands of flies ready for a new season, whenever that will be. Well, you've got all the kit ready, you've got your flies ready, but what about you? Now, are you physically ready? Because when was the last time you actually went out fishing? And the problem is, on that first day, when lockdown restrictions are lifted, you're going to be full of enthusiasm. You want to get out fishing. Problem is, that's when you might injure yourself. So I'm just going to run through a few things that will make sure that you're ready, as well as your kit, that you're prepared, fit, and ready to tackle that first day of the season. What about exercising? Well, gyms are closed, but you can do a few exercises at home. Now we're looking at Bicep. This is a coffee mug, a travel mug, what I take everywhere with me. Full of water. I've actually got tea in this one. We can do Bicep curls, right? Doesn't mean you have to have big dumbbells, but we exercise that muscle. What about the back of the arm? We can take the coffee cup, put it up there. We can do tricep extensions up there. What about your shoulder? Well, just hold your arm out straight. Now these are exercises you can do in the house. While you're watching television, we can just exercise there. We can go outside. We can exercise there. Posterior and anterior deltoids. So that means your shoulder, your bicep, your tricep are ready. What about the forearm? Well, what we can do is just do wrist curls. This is easy to do, sat on a sofa. We can do that. So that means the forearm muscles will be actually toned up as well. So that's your muscles. What about your casting? Well, let's put this down. Here's the rod. First things first, what we've got to do is be relaxed, right? We're just trying to keep the muscles warm, keep in tune. So just normal overhead casts, simple and easy. Before you start casting, well, obviously, put your glasses on, and then just easy and simple. Now, if you're a total beginner, and as we've heard now, over 200% in rod cells, and there'll be a big percentage of that, which are trout anglers. They're starting fly fishing from the start. I'm going to give you a really whistle-stop tour of how to start fly casting, right? Simple and easy. Your stance, just stand comfortable. There are two types of stance, closed and open. As a right-handed person, put your right foot forward. This is a fantastic way for accurate casts. There. Or if you want distance, you put your opposite foot forward, so you open your body out. When you start, just be comfortable. The grip, for me, is a personal thing. You can hold it with a thumb on top, hold it with a thumb to the side, hold it with your first finger. Doesn't really matter. The important thing is, don't grip it too hard. Now, when you're out practicing, if you start to find that you're getting, oh God, I'm tired, my muscles are starting to ache. Right, I'm going to give a tip now to actually show you how little effort it takes to get this cast going. So, what do we do? Well, what we want to do first of all, we want to get it up into a false cast. Now, a lot of people will be putting way too much effort into this. So what I want you to try and do is collapse the line on the grass next to you. So it's actually, the loop is not going out, it's just falling down. And it's, you see the piece of wool dragging along the grass. See the piece of wool, it just drags along the grass, drags. So really get it to collapse and totally, virtually not moving. And then what you do is give a little bit more effort. And then you'll notice that the whole thing has gone up in the air. And what that will do is give you the confidence to put a lot less power into your cast. Now, one thing that you will find when you've had a long layoff, timing is out. So, what happens if your timing is a little bit too fast? Well, that's an easy one to identify because you hear a whipping sound behind. Now, if you want to really check this out, now on the end of this, I have got a piece of wool. If you want to really check out your timing, what you can do is take the piece of wool off and then you hear a whip crack, whip crack. That means you're going too fast, so you need to slow it down. The other thing you can do, exactly as I've done here, that's a mobile phone. Put your mobile phone there and have a look to see what's happening behind. The other one, and not a lot of people talk about this, they talk about going too quickly. What about going too slow? Now, obviously, if you're out fishing, if you go too slow, what happens is a line drops down behind you and you hook the grass. This is why people go too fast, because they keep hooking the grass. But the timing has to be perfect. The reason for that, I'll explain. If you wait too long on the back cast, so what we're going to do, we cast back. When the line straightens, what happens is the rod bends into the weight of the line, which means it's loaded, it's ready to go forward. Now, what happens if you wait too long? Well, the rod bends into the weight of the line. You wait a little bit too long, the line starts to drop, but then the rod releases the bend, loses the load. So then what happens, you don't have the rod bent against the weight of the line, you start to move forward, then the rod starts loading a little bit later in the cast, which means two things. One, it lands in a big horrible mess in front of you, or you end up with a tailing loop in the air. So how can we get over mistiming? Well, what we do, take the casting from a vertical plane to a horizontal plane. And now, sideways on, I can watch behind, watch in front. Watch behind, watch in front. There, 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 there. So you can actually get the timing. And obviously, on shorter casts, shorter pause. But as you increase, longer pause. There is there. And once you're confident with that, bring it back up into the vertical plane and cast. So you're getting your timing right. But you've done your little bit of training back home with a coffee cup, a bag of sugar. To be honest with you, I've heard a lot of people talk about a bag of sugar doing that. But I find that occasionally the sugar falls out and makes a mess on the carpet. So don't do a bag of sugar, nor a bag of flour, okay? Just a bottle of pop, that's fine, right? Anything like that, bit of resistance, bit of weight, that will get your muscles. But how do we do it when casting? Well, do it easy and simple. Start off with false casting for maybe 10, 15 casts. So train, it'll warm up those muscles, it'll keep them in tune. Next time you go out, do it a little bit longer. So we're doing it 25, 30 seconds, right? So you're keeping them in tune. And then, if you want to extend a little bit more, we can actually increase the length of the pause, there, and push out. So hopefully with those exercises at home, the exercise on the grass, when the restrictions are lifted, when you're allowed to go fishing wherever you choose, your tackle will be ready, your flies will be ready, but more importantly, you will be physically ready to go and catch some fish.